Hello, and welcome to the 55th weekly update. It is the 22nd of January 2022, and I'm wearing a hat. This is a very good hat. I'm very fond of this hat. This is actually one of the earliest hats in my collection. I mean, some of the hats in my collection now I had earlier, but I mean, this one was really, when I received this hat, that was really the moment I decided that I was going to start a hat collection. Because one of my uncles gave me this. I've got a few more of his now. But he gave me this. Well, actually, he got it for his wife, and then his wife gave it to me, actually. That's actually what happened, actually. I think it was his wife. I don't actually know if they were married, but I'm pretty sure they were. But yeah, so this is really the hat that's responsible for me having more hats. So I think we should all thank this hat. This week I've been attempting to achieve a lucid dream because I haven't been dreaming as much recently. Well, I mean, everyone dreams every night, but I mean, I haven't been remembering them as often. And so I've done the thing. I've written awake on my hand, so I'll catch a glimpse of it and do like a reality check. It's a thing you do. Now, I'm not really trying to achieve a lucid dream for the reason everyone else does, which is they want to achieve a lucid dream. I want to achieve a lucid dream because I'm hoping it will help me remember my dreams better. And because, of course, the reason you mainly don't remember your dreams is because they're not actually happening. But if you're directly experiencing something, which is what a lucid dream is, the equivalent of actually doing it in real life, then I'll remember it better. And that's really... And I did have a dream. It wasn't a lucid dream, but the night before last night, I had a dream where basically my college was burning down to the ground, which, to be entirely honest, is something I kind of hope does happen. Not with anyone in it, of course, except for the teachers, obviously, or a couple of the teachers, not. I mean, the majority of the teachers, yes. A couple of the teachers were actually good, and I'd removed them before alighting it. Anyway, so basically my college had burnt down to the ground, but the firefighters were too busy annoying Ken Campbell in the supermarket, who was dressed as Bruce Lee at the time, you know, in the yellow thing with the black stripe down the side. He was dressed, I don't know why Ken Campbell... Well, firstly, I don't know why he came back to life, and then also I don't know why he was dressed as Bruce Lee in the supermarket, but he was. So, that happened. Well, it didn't happen. It was a dream, actually, but it did happen in the dream. So that's very interesting. I hope to have more similarly strange dreams. Maybe even a lucid dream. That'd be good. Don't know what I'd do, and I know you're meant to really have a plan, because otherwise you'd just be sat there for an hour not doing anything in the dream. But to be honest, I think the novelty of being awake in a dream would probably be enough, and I'm sure I'd be able to come up with some ideas while I was in there. So I'll just, I'll take my chances on that. Anyway, I don't like plans. People who know me know that I don't like plans. Plans are for people who have no imagination, and so they need to make everything up in advance. I'll be able to come up with ideas in the moment. So yeah, it's been a pretty good week. Not much has happened, admittedly. I've recorded the first piece of music since the last Moid album was released. It's not a full song, it's just a little tiny bit that I did in the synthesizer. Because I figured out that you can actually plug the synthesizer that I got recently into my guitar amp, which gives you a bit more flexibility in the sound. You can actually, because of course there's no programmability in the synthesizer whatsoever, apart from like the volume. There's just a load of presets. There's 100 presets, right? And so basically, if I plug it into the guitar amp, that gives me a little bit of control. I can change, the what is it called? The treble and the middle and the bass, and I can add reverb. So it adds a little bit more. So that's pretty good. And also that means that when I get the one that I'm getting for my birthday, because I said I'm getting the Korg MS-20 for my birthday. We actually already have it. Because I saw it on eBay and I thought that deal isn't gonna last till April, because it was in December I saw this. I thought we should get it now, so it's in the house now. I haven't seen it, but I know we have it, which is a relief, because it means I don't have to worry about whether or not I'm gonna get it. I can just allow the excitement of knowing that I have it and I'm gonna get it to build up. But one of the main reasons I got it is it's a great synthesizer. But one of the reasons it's a great synthesizer is you can actually plug an external output or an external input into it. You can't plug an output into something, silly person, but you can plug the input from like an electric guitar into it, and that made me realize I'll be able to plug the output up no, because it's the output of that, so I'll be able to plug the output of that synthesizer into the synthesizer I get on my birthday, and then plug that into the guitar amp, which will give me a lot of things, because I can shape it mostly in the synthesizer, and then I can also do stuff with the bass and the and the reverb and the stuff on the amp. So that's pretty cool. I'm looking forward to that, and that's pretty much everything that's happened in the last week. Did I do that short film? No, that was last week, wasn't it? Yes, I think so. So that's that. Next is plans for next week. I don't have many plans for next week, apart from what I've already been doing, which is carrying on with this whole writing a work on my hand business. There we are. It's actually really difficult to write in your hand because your skin sort of slips, and so it's quite difficult. It'd be much easier to write it on the inside of my hand, where the skin is more thick, because of course the inside of my hand, I grip things with that whenever, like if I'm just in the camera or moving my mouse around, right? I don't use I don't hold things with the back of my hand, and so it's very thin, the skin on your back of your hand. So it's more comfortable to write things on, and easy to write things on the inside of your palm. But that's less practical, because, as I said, you're using your palm more often, and so it's going to rub off. Whereas if you put it on the back of your hand, not much is going to be touching the back of your hand, except maybe a glove. But I'm not wearing a glove, so. And then again, a glove would probably protect it, actually. So again, so the back of your hand, even though it's quite difficult to write on, is a very good place to write on, because not much is going to get to it, really. Anyway, so yeah, do more stuff with that. See if I can come up with any more ideas for music or films or anything. And just carry on doing what I'm already doing. Next, I believe, but I'll check, is political commentary, which is a ridiculous thing to call it, because that's not really what it is. It's just me looking at the news and being very mature in many special ways about it. Studio mode, display, transition. Hello. Don't know who that is. I don't care. Yeah, Arnold Schwarzenegger's in a car accident. I don't care, to be honest. That's mean. I do care. He's alright. He's not too bad. When he gets political, it's stupid. But, he's a good actor. I like him. Well, I say good actor. He's not a good actor, but he is very good at being Arnold Schwarzenegger, and so you can't really hate him, because he's just cool. He just is. Should bad science be censored on social media? You see, that is the thing, right? Because it's you can't really about it, because freedom of speech is the most important thing in the world, right? And so bad science and people lying basically on social media does a lot of harm. And so it is a bit of a dilemma, but in the end I think the importance of freedom of speech outweighs it. Really, you just have to be careful what you listen to. Yes, people are going to believe stupid conspiracy theories, but that's not as important to me. And of course, if you censor fake conspiracy theories, they'll also start censoring the real conspiracy theories, which aren't theories; they're proven. But you know what I mean? They'll start censoring everything. What do I mean they'll start censoring everything, as if they don't already censor everything? How are COVID rules changing? They're not. You're still not allowed to do anything. Director James Cameron on the dangers of deepfakes. Yeah, deepfakes are going to be... They're still pretty bad at the moment. A few people have done them really well. But yeah, eventually... eventually those are going to become a problem. Yeah. But you know, people are just going to have to deal with it. It's going to happen. It is a problem though, because one of the best ways to, of course, at the moment, good video footage is the best. Thing is, there will be a way though. That's the thing, because you can identify watching a video whether it's raw from the device that it was recorded on, and I think that's the way they're going to have to do it. Because if a video has been imported into an editing software and deepfaked, you'll be able to, even if the deepfake itself is perfect, the DNA of the video will reveal that it's an edited video. So basically, you'll just have to, if you're reporting anything with video evidence, you'll just have to provide the raw file from the camera, which you can tell that it's the raw file. I don't know how, but I know that you can. So I'm obviously an expert. It is true though. Meatloaf. Literally the only thing I know him from is Rocky Horror Picture Show. He was good in it. What can I say? Where did it all go wrong for Kamala Harris? She's an idiot, basically. That's what went wrong there. da, 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 da. Da, da. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Bee harming pesticide approved for use in England. Pesticide which can harm bees has been approved for use in 2022. Okay, well, I mean, what else? These people really think that sugar is more important than bees? Really? You realise if it wasn't for bees, you wouldn't even have sugar. Some kinds of sugar, I think. Doesn't matter. I don't know if that's true. I just said that. Sorry. But it's... sugar is not more important than bees. Bees are more important than sugar. If it wasn't for bees, we wouldn't have even made it this far in our revolution. You know how much food that we rely on a daily basis involves bees at some point in the process? It's a lot. If there were no bees, there'd be no food, or there'd be like 1% of the food we have now. So this is stupid. People are stupid. That's what it comes down to. But then again, when has that not been the case? TikTok to top 10. The wildest week of my life. Hope it's the fucking last week of your life. Jesus. BBC News YouTube channel. Hillary Clinton. Oh, she's looking very Old Hill. No, that's not what I asked for. Not what I asked for. She's looking very well, isn't she? Look at that. She's looking all, yeah. Looking all healthy there. Yeah, it's very... God, I really hope she dies soon. Jesus Christ. The kind of things she gets up to. Jesus. It's not going into any more detail than that. Anyway, moving on. God, there's no news here. This one, I saw this because this one popped up in my recommend. Basically, there was a guy, really, who they've figured out who it was who betrayed Anne Frank's family. And obviously, naturally, everyone's going like, "Oh, how dare they do that? It's such a horrible thing to do." But his family was on the line as well. And I'm sorry, if it was just me, if it was my life or an entire family, then obviously I'd let them off me. But if it's my family and someone else's family, screw them. I'm open my family. I don't care. You want to grow up to be an author, whatever. I'm not interested. It's my family. They're more important than you. So I'm on the guy's side in that one. Racist. Shut up. Wealth of world's 10 richest men doubled in pandemic. Well, that, again, why is that a surprise to anyone? These people rely on disaster to make their money. You shouldn't be surprised. Grow up. Can the COVID vaccine harm unborn babies during pregnancy? I don't know. Probably. I wouldn't risk it if I was a pregnant woman, which I'm not and never will be, because I'm a man. And men cannot give birth. Those of you wondering. Cora, secret instrument, storytellers. It looks interesting. Don't care about it enough to watch that. I think Mr. Beast. What an arse. Lucas says lawyer is Chinese secret. No, I will have already talked about that if it was 8 days ago. Anyway, so that's the news, or the BBC news at least. But then again, the BBC news is always the most fun to watch because it's. I might have to start looking at CNN as well as BBC, because obviously, I don't know. I just feel like the BBC is probably more fun. Maybe I do both. I'll do both at some point, because obviously CNN is probably the most misinformed. The BBC is pretty crap as well. But the thing is, the BBC, from what I understand, and they probably don't, but I'm pretty sure legally they're meant to tell the truth about whatever they report on. And so what the BBC's tactic to me seems to be, they just don't talk about the things which go against their own beliefs, basically. Or they report on someone else saying something about those things which they agree with. So even if that person was lying, the BBC reports on it. That's what they do. With CNN, in America, they can just lie themselves. So it'd be different. Next, films I've watched. Watched 3 films. 2 of them I've already. Actually, all 3 I'm pretty sure I've already watched. 2 of them fictional, 1 of them documentary. I watched Stalker, 1979, brilliant film, as you've already know, I've already talked about it. Possum, 2018, brilliant film, as you already know, I've already talked about it. And How the Young Ones Changed Comedy, 2018 documentary about the Young Ones, which is of course the greatest comedy program of all. In fact, probably just the greatest program of all time in general, actually. Greatest comedy program of all time. Very good documentary. Albums I've listened to. BBC Radiophonic Workshop, or BBC Radiophonic Music by the BBC Radiophonic Workshop, now known as just the Radiophonic Workshop. They're a separate entity now. Good for them, because BBC is loads of crap, as we've just talked about. And the second one, Fourth Dimension. But the first one, 1968. BBC Radiophonic Music, and the second one, Fourth Dimension, from 1973, which was actually just done by one guy, Paddy Kingsland, that one. But it's credited to the Radiophonic Workshop, because at least at that point, I'm pretty sure it changed in the late 80s, if I remember correctly. But from the late 50s all the way up to the 70s, and I think the late 80s, I don't know when it ended, but I know at least the entirety of the 50s, 60s, and 70s that it didn't exist for the entirety of the 50s. But you know what I mean? Entirety of the 60s and 70s, individual members couldn't be credited. And so even though only one person worked on Fourth Dimension, it had to be credited to the entire Radiophonic Workshop. Anyway, the first one, even though they're both technically the same thing, they're both technically just sort of a compilation of different bits, some for radio, some for TV. Whereas the first one actually sounds like that. It's a collection of little radio jingles from like 20-minute radio jingles to 5-minute ambient pieces. Dearly Derbyshire. Genius, that woman. And underappreciated in her time, and still now. Barely anyone knows about her. Anyway, and the second one, Fourth Dimension, even though it's basically the same thing, it works much better as an album. Fourth Dimension is actually one of my new favourite albums. I've got it on my phone. BBC Radiophonic Music it's interesting and it's a good display of their skill as musicians, but it doesn't work very well as an album. It's definitely just really a compilation of different bits. Fourth Dimension is still a compilation of different bits, but it actually works as an album. So yeah, that's that. And then answering questions. Well, no one's here to ask any questions, and so I'm just going to end the live stream here. I hope you have enjoyed. If you have, please like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you